Let me, this morning, rather than preach to you, tell you a story. This story is called The Unopened Gift. Once upon a time, in a town not too different from Billingham, Alfie Turner was one day helping his parents to decorate the house for Christmas. This was the first year he'd been allowed to help, and his job was to put the decorations on the tree and round to the bottom of the tree. Now, Alfie was quite young, so really he could only reach the stuff that went at the bottom of the tree and not very high. But he took his job very seriously. He wanted to do such a good job that when he was bigger and older, he'd be allowed to decorate the whole tree by himself. In the plastic box that his dad had brought down from the loft was a host of trinkets and baubles and some stuffed toys that always went around the base of the tree. The same ones year after year for as long as Alfie could remember, which wasn't very long because he wasn't very old. And as Alfie rooted through the box, he came upon something. It was an ornately wrapped gift, very well decorated, but very old. At first, he thought he'd never seen it before, but actually he remembered it now, seeing it every year under the tree. He'd just never paid any attention to it because it was old and didn't have a touch screen. And on the label, it simply said, "To Mr. Turner, thank you for all your help. You did me a great kindness. Please accept this gift as my thanks. I hope it helps you and your family. Happy Christmas, King Henry." Wow, thought Alfie. A gift from a king. A gift from somebody who's in the history books. How amazing is that? What is this unopened gift? So he runs to his dad and says, "Dad, what's this?" His father picked up the gift and looked at it and goes, "I'd forgotten about that. Funny, every year we get this out, and I intend to tell you the story about where it came from. And then Christmas is over, it gets put in the box, and I forget all about it." And then his father smiled at him. You know the way fathers do when they realize that they've got an opportunity to tell a story that they've been looking forward to telling. Alfie realized this answer was not going to be short, so he got himself comfortable. "Well, Alfie, this is a story passed on through generations and generations of our family. A story we tell year after year, and now it's your turn to hear it. So in future years, you can tell it too." Alfie was a bit unsure about this. He wanted an explanation about the gift, not a lifelong obligation to tell a story. But you know what? Dads can be like that, can't they? Many, many years ago, your actually I'm not sure how many greats it is, but it's a lot, grandfather, William Turner, was a poor farmer with a cruel landlord, Sir Piers Smythe. Every year this cruel landlord would put prices up. He'd blame foreign wars for it, for the price of his animal food, for the price of his fuel. And he would take more and more in taxes from the poor farmer, saying, "Don't worry, you'll benefit from it in the long run." William was a happy man, but he had very little. One day, William came across a man lying in a ditch near his farm. This man had been attacked by bandits by the look of him and left for dead. William went over to help the man, and the wicked landlord, Sir Piers, came riding past on his expensive horse, which he called Bentley. "Please, sir," cried out William, "this man has been set upon by bandits. I fear for his life. Help me get him somewhere warm and help me find something for him to eat." "Away with you," replied the wicked landlord. "This man is a tramp and a nuisance. Let him die, I say. If you want to help him, you'll have to find the means and the money yourself." And off he rode on his Bentley, his horse. William took the man back to his home. He fed him, he bandaged his wounds, he warmed him by the fire, and sent him off with what money William could find. Said Alfie, "What's this got to do with the gift and the king?" Fearing they were about to get the entire life story of an ancestor he's never heard of. "Well," said his father, "that's where the story gets remarkable." Knowing that he had exactly the same question at exactly the same point when he was the same age, because he didn't expect the twist either. A little later, not long before Christmas, a troop of soldiers and a royal messenger came to William Turner's home. They arrived on horses decorated with gold and purple fabrics. The messenger gets from his horse and walks towards William, who is absolutely terrified at this point. He does not know why they're there. An army turning up at your house is not what you want. He thought he was about to be arrested and taken to the Tower of London. But the messenger actually says, "I have been sent by the King of England, who would like to give you his most grateful thanks. He owes his life to you." You see, unknown to William, the King of England had wanted to know what the common man had thought about him. So one day, he disguised himself, crept out of his palace unseen, and visited some towns and villages across the land to hear how life was from the common man. It was going well to start, but the country highways are a dangerous place, and the king was unprepared. He was attacked and robbed and left for dead, until William found him and helped him. The king was so grateful, he sent this delegation to William's farm to present him with this gift, this little Christmas present. And on the label it had those words, "To Mr. Turner, thank you for all your help. You did me a great kindness. Please accept this gift as my thanks. I hope it helps you and your family. Happy Christmas, King Henry." William treasured this gift, this message from the king. He placed it under his tree every year to remind him of this great honor. And it's been passed down generation after generation with this story ever since. Alfie was amazed. Wow, so our family helped save King Henry. That's amazing. His father smiled because he'd had the same thought. But then he noticed Alfie's brow was furrowing. "What's wrong, son?" "Dad, I don't understand. What is it?" "What do you mean?" replied his father. "Well, it's a gift, wrapped up. What's in it?" It's a question his dad had never asked. Nobody had. For generation after generation, this gift from a king was seen as so special. It had been spoken about, cared for, retold years after years, but it had never once been opened. I mean, it says on the label, "I hope this helps you and your family." How? Alfie's father was feeling rather foolish right now. So as you do when you feel foolish, he made an excuse. "Well, I mean, a gift this precious, a note from a king, that's too valuable to open." "But Dad, the note and the wrapping is not the gift. The story isn't the gift. The gift is the gift. Can we open it? His father was horrified. Open it? Open it? You can't open it. What would become of the story? This is a Christmas tradition. You can't just go around opening it. Son, you're young. You don't understand yet. One day you'll understand. It's tradition. It's part of Christmas. We should keep it as it is. And one day you'll understand. So he took the gift off Alfie and put it back under the tree. And at the end of Christmas, it went back in the plastic box. And it still remains there to this day. Unopened, yet loved and cherished once a year and forgotten about for the rest of the year. But the point had been missed with this unopened gift. What was inside, I hear you ask? Thank you. I'm glad you asked. Inside this gift was a ruby the size of a man's hand. Everything William would have ever needed to escape the shackles of working for the wicked landlord. Everything he would have needed his entire life. Anything that any one of the generations would have needed. This unopened gift could have changed their life. But instead, all it was a good story. Now, this might seem incredibly far-fetched. How could something so valuable go so long unopened? How could something so loved once a year be forgotten about the rest of the year? It seems implausible. It seems unrealistic. Yet for so many people, this happens each and every Christmas. Every year we remember the time that the King of Heaven came and gave us a gift that could change our lives forever, change our eternity, a gift that would free us from the shackles of this mixed up, cruel world. He sent his only Son, Jesus, into the world on that first and very greatest Christmas. And every year we tell the story of the journey to Bethlehem, no room at the inn, a baby in a manger, shepherds, wise men from afar. But you know the story. Just like we tell it and we miss the point. Just like Alfie's father did. The story is not the gift. The wrapping is not the gift. The gift is the gift. Jesus is the gift. The greatest gift. And if we could get past the wrapping, the tinsel, the lights, the parts of Christmas we enjoy and feel so nostalgic about, if we could see past them, we can find a gift that would change our lives. The note on this gift said, from God, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, so that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but shall have eternal life. Jesus did not come to earth for a nice story about his birth. That would be a very strange reason to be born. He came to give us an opportunity to have a future and a hope in heaven, and to have a relationship with God now, to take our lives and give them a brand new direction. Yet year after year, we look at the package, not the gift. we miss the gift that could change everything. The gift that would set us free from the trap we're in and give us a whole new life. I wonder, this Christmas, will you keep the gift in its packaging? Will it go back in the box, ready for next year? Or will this be the year we finally unwrap it and see the wonderful, precious gift that's inside? Will this be the year where you let the gift change your life? I'd just like to pray for a moment and ask the singers to come back up. Jesus, we thank you for the gift you gave us. That gift of eternal life that you've promised. And Lord, I just pray for every person in this room that this Christmas will think beyond the packaging, will think beyond what's on the outside, and will see the true gift that has been given to us.